Quit alcohol for a year and it changed my life. Changed my relationship to alcohol totally. And here is what happened. Hi, my name is Jack. I used to pride myself on being the life of the party, on being the last man standing, on doing lots of drugs and having fun on a night out and being the big man. And now I spend more time meditating, chilling out, fucking swinging in a hammock and getting up at 5 a.m. Things have changed. And I started this YouTube channel to talk about a few of the reasons that things have changed, a few of the ideas that have helped to change my life. And I stopped the booze as an experiment, really, because I wanted to see, what's life going to be like if I'm not in the fucking bin until Wednesday every single week in terms of my productivity? What could I possibly get done? How am I going to feel? How is it going to change my life? It turns out, in many ways. And so here are the 5 ways that quitting booze has changed my life that came to mind when I was thinking about this YouTube video. Number one, I feel significantly less anxiety. I actually drank a lot recently at New Year's. I was in Colombia in this little pueblo, and I've got some pals here. They invited me into their house. I was sitting in a back garden with like a group of Colombians who were all fairly steaming, and they were passing out aguardiente, which is like Colombian sambuca. And I had this decision point where I thought, I'm just gonna drink like I used to and see what happens. And so I started drinking fucking loads of this aguardiente, and my energy went, meow. My enjoyment of the night went, meow. My Spanish skills went, meow. And the next day I felt fucking horrendous. What a way to bring in the bells and start the new year. But what happened when I woke up was it was instant. I get slapped in the face with the cold water of anxiety of like, oh, I shouldn't have said that thing, or oh, that was quite embarrassing, and oh, what about this project I need to start tomorrow? And these thoughts were very recognisable actually in the fact that I hadn't experienced them in a good while. But I remember them, I was like, oh yeah, this is how my brain used to work. My brain's go-to reaction used to be this extreme form of anxiety, and over the last few years I've managed to get away from that. I was like, oh yeah, anxiety, my old friend. How you doing? Now I know how to manage these emotions better. I know how to manage anxiety better, and it doesn't phase me as much as it used to. But the thing is, for fucking a year and a half, I've not had to deal with it like that. It's not been this fucking 50% of my brain that I have to use my energy to overcome. It's just not been there. And so, yes, I can overcome the anxiety, but I'd rather if it just fucking wasn't there. So, stopping drinking stopped me from feeling this level of anxiety in my life. And that itself has been very game changing. Number two, I feel a lot more productive. And I am a lot more productive in my life. Because when you drink, you go out on a Friday, you go out on a Saturday, you drink, you do loads of coke, and you can work during the week, but you're not doing very much work Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, maybe you're back in business. And when you're hungover, if you're mentally tough, you can push yourself. You sit down at your desk, you're like, just fucking sit down. You set a timer for an hour and you push, you push, you push. But it is a slog, it is difficult, and you definitely can't push as hard as you can when you're not having to push. You don't get as much work done, but it's every minute of it's fucking torture. And so what I realised when, I stopped drinking was that, oh, I actually quite like my work when I'm not knackered. I actually quite enjoy it. I get energy from it. It's easy for me to spend my whole day on the laptop like it didn't used to be. So that's another big one. More productive. Number three, my memory is 10 times sharper. When I want to think of a certain word, when I want to think of a memory, when I want to colour that memory with details of the story, when I want to think of a certain concept or idea, it's just there, right at my fingertips. It's not like I have to go, oh, what was that thing? Oh, I can't remember. It's how I used to experience reality. My brain was numb. Now my brain's fucking sharp, and that you would pay £1 billion to have a sharp brain. I tell you, because I used to live always wondering, why am I not smart enough? Why am I not sharp enough? Why can't I respond to this joke? Why? The reason was because I had fucking 24/7 brain fog because I was numbing it with drugs and alcohol. So getting off the booze, it makes you a lot smarter. Bada bing, bada boom. Number four, I'm far more in tune with what I actually enjoy in life. As stated by His Holiness Naval Ravikant, we drink alcohol to be in environments and venues and around people that we would normally not want to spend time around. And I used to think that I loved clubbing, but what I realised was I loved taking ecstasy, and I happened to take ecstasy in the club. When I went sober, when I went to the club, I realised I fucking hate being in a club. The music's shite, you can't talk, it's fucking unpleasant, it's uncomfortable. When I was sober and I started hanging out with old mates, I realised, oh, we've actually got nothing to talk about. We've got nothing in common other than the fact that we used to get smashed every weekend. And so getting off the booze allowed me to actually attune to what I like to do. Allowed me to attune to the fact that maybe I don't need to go out and get smashed every Friday and Saturday night. Maybe there's other ways to live your life. It's so crazy. And actually realise what are the things, environments, people that give me energy. You know, what do I actually want to do in my life? How do I actually want to spend my time? Who do I actually want to be around? These things didn't exist when I was on the booze because it was kind of like, oh, but you should be having fun. Oh, you should be out. You should be able to hang out with everyone. You should be able to socialise with everyone. When you take the booze away from that, you realise you don't give a fuck. I'm just going to do the things I want to do. And a lot of the time that involves sometimes, you know, spending time alone. Number 5, I have far more energy in life and to pursue my long term goals. I used to be so fucking inconsistent. You know, you would try and get up at 6 a.m. on a Monday morning and you might manage it for 3 days or whatever. Maybe you managed it for all 5, which was very uncommon. And then the weekend you would stay up till 6 a.m. getting steaming. So all these things that I was trying to do, you know, you would really work hard during the week to get them and get these new habits and be healthy, and then you'd fuck it every single weekend. Now, if I want to get up at 5 a.m, I can get up at 5 a.m. If I want to work till 10 p.m, I can work at 10 p.m. I have energy to do whatever the fuck I want to do in my life now. And it's not an energy that runs out at all. It's like you get the afternoon dips to an extent depending on what food you're eating, but generally you just have the energy. You don't have to fight this internal sense of laziness that always is present when you are drinking. And it's the most liberating thing in the world. So getting rid of booze was not a bad shout. I still enjoy the odd beer or two. I fucking hate being drunk though, I'll tell you that. Because what used to happen in the past was I felt terrible, booze made me feel good, and then I felt terrible again. Whereas now I feel good, booze generally makes me feel okay but slightly worse. And then after like 2 beers or whatever, I start going down, and then the next day I feel shocking. So it makes you realise, what is the point in doing this thing in my life if I'm not getting anything from it anymore? And I don't know if I would say that I'm completely over, you know, partying phase. I could see myself maybe having a celebratory, you know, cocaine year or something. Who knows? I'm not dogmatic about anything. So yeah, booze, mad. See you after.